Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradha Hari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Hare. Jaya Radha Sham Radha Sham Radha Sham Jaya Radha Sham. Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivirajagacaya Shota Shota Shishamachila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya Vishwapad Paramahamsa Parivirajagacaya Shota Shota Shishamachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Saraghunathacārya Goswami Prabhu ki प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवहरि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपाल गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री मायापुर धाम की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की तुलसी महारानी भक्ति देवी की गंगे मुनि देवी की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री श्री गौनिताय की श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल समवेत भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Reading from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. 4th chapter, text number 12. Kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ devatāḥ kṣipraṁ loke kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ mānuṣe loke kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta iha devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajanta devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja kāṅkṣantaḥ desiring karmaṇāṁ of fruitive activities, siddhim perfection, yajante they worship by sacrifices, iha in the material world, devatāḥ the demigods, kṣipraṁ very quickly, he certainly, mānuṣe in human society, loke within this world, siddhim success, bhavati comes, karmaja from fruitive work. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Īśvaraḥ Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get the results from fruitive work in this world. Purport. There is a great misconception about the gods or demigods of this material world. And men of less intelligence, although passing as great scholars, take these demigods to be various forms of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the demigods are not different forms of God, but they are God's different parts and parcels. God is one, and the part and parcels are many. The Vedas say nityo nityānām. God is one. Īśvaraḥ Parama Krishna. The Supreme God is one, Krishna. And the demigods are delegated with powers to manage this material world. These demigods are all living entities, nityānām, with different grades of material power. They cannot be equal to the Supreme God, Narayana, Vishnu or Krishna. Anyone who thinks that God and the demigods are on the same level is called an atheist or pasandi. Even the great demigods like Brahmā and Śiva cannot be compared to the Supreme Lord. In fact, the Lord is worshipped by demigods such as Brahmā and Śiva. Śiva-viriñci-nutam. Yet curiously enough, there are many human leaders who are worshipped by foolish men under the misunderstanding of anthropomorphism or zoomorphism. Iha devatāḥ denotes a powerful man or demigod of this material world. But Narayana, Vishnu, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, does not belong to this world. Is above or transcendental to the material creation. Even Śrīpāda Śaṅkarācārya, the leader of the impersonalists, maintains that Narayana, Krishna, is beyond this material creation. However, foolish people, hṛta-jñāna, worship the demigods because they want immediate results. They get the results, but do not know that results so obtained are temporary and are meant for less intelligent persons. The intelligent person is in Krishna consciousness and he has no need to worship the paltry demigods for some immediate temporary benefit. The demigods of this material world as well as their worshippers will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. The boons of the demigods are material and temporary. Both the material worlds and their inhabitants, including the demigods and their worshippers, are bubbles in the cosmic ocean. In this world, however, human society is mad after temporary things such as the material opulence of possessing land, family, and enjoyable paraphernalia. To achieve such temporary things, people worship the demigods or powerful men in human society. If a man gets some ministership in the government by worshipping a political leader, he considers that he has achieved a great boon. All of them are therefore kowtowing to the so-called leaders of big guns in order to achieve temporary boons. And they indeed achieve such things. Such foolish men are not interested in Krishna consciousness for the permanent solution to the hardships of material existence. They are all after sense enjoyment, and to get a little facility for sense enjoyment, they are attracted to worshipping empowered living entities known as demigods. This verse indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. They are mostly interested in material enjoyment, and therefore they worship some powerful living entity. Amagyanati mirandasya jnanam janasalakaya chakasodana militam yanam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya-manobhistam stapitam yena bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadama Yam Dadati Sabadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. kāṅkṣantaḥ karmaṇāṁ siddhiṁ yajante devatāḥ kṣipraṁ hi mānuṣe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Many in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, man gets results from fruitive work in this material world. So here, Srila Prabhupada at the end of the purport is indicating, or is saying that this verse indicates that people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. In this material world, everyone is actually interested in sense gratification. And in a human form of life, so the sense gratification is there, and people, they are not so much interested in spiritual life. That is seen all over the world, and that is seen practically since time immemorial, since the beginning of creation. Of course, the different ages are there. So in the age of Kali, people are more inclined towards sense gratification than in other ages. Dvapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, they are more inclined for performing pious activities or for trying to advance in spiritual life. In Satya Yuga, where the mode of goodness is prominent, more persons are there who are inclined to advance in spiritual life. But still, basically in the material world, everyone is interested in sanskarification. But the Supreme Lord Himself is appearing in this world, or He is sending His representatives and trying to make the human beings understand that there is more than just sanskarification in this world. Especially in the human form of life, actually it is the duty of every human being to try to advance in spiritual life. And the scriptures are there which are recommending the process, and the saintly persons are there. But still, the majority of the people, they are not so interested. They are not able to understand the purpose of life. So Krishna is mentioning, in the previous verse, of course, is explaining that as one is surrendering to Him, then He will reward him accordingly. And in this way, everyone is following Krishna's path to some extent. But only few are actually really seriously trying to surrender. As Krishna Himself has explained a little later on in the 7th chapter, Manuṣyanam sahasreshu kaścit yatati siddhiya yataram abhisiddhanam kṣipram vitti tattvataha. And bhunam janamanamante jnanavama papadete vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma surulabhaha. So Manuṣyanam sahasreshu, amongst thousands of men, only few are actually interested in spiritual life. And those who really understand Krishna, they are rare. And bhunam janamanante. So after many lives, one comes to the understanding that Krishna is the absolute truth. And so that person is rare. Very rare. And even those who understand that Krishna is the absolute truth of Vishnu and Narayan, and who are engaged in the worship of the Lord, but those who are able to fully surrender are most rare. Even those who take up the path of spiritual life, most of them, they still also have some material desires. And many times they also ask the Supreme Lord to fulfill their desires. So those who are not so intelligent, instead of approaching the Lord, even though they may have material desires, and the Lord may also fulfill them or help them to some extent. So those who are not so intelligent, they will worship the demigods. Or they will worship, as Prabhupada is indicating also, they will worship some great man of this world. And then Krishna is explaining that in this world one may get one may be able to get the result quite quickly. Shreyas and prayas. But to gain the ultimate success or spiritual benefit, for that one has to endeavor more. and one has to be more patient. And especially in the age of Kali, people are very impatient. And therefore even Srila Prabhupada or other great saintly persons, they will encourage the devotees. And they will tell them also that very, very quickly you will attain perfection. Very quickly you can get success. Just like a child is there, and when the child is small, he wants to play, he doesn't want to really go to school, but then the father will encourage him by various means. Maybe promising some toy or something. When he's small, when he's bigger, maybe some gadget or bicycle and so on, so that he may take up the process in the school, the study. So similarly, many times, persons who may have some inclination, they want some quick result, and so therefore they may approach demigods who are more easily yielding to their desires, or they may approach some important person of this world. If, for example, politicians are there, and many times they will, in order to get votes of the common people, they will give some promises that if you vote for me or for my party, you will get very quickly, you will have a good life. And then they may try to take it up, and they may vote for a certain person. And they may get some benefit. But this is only temporary, as Prabhupada is also mentioning, and that is understood, and even Krishna is explaining. Some persons who are more qualified, they may go to the planets of the demigods, and there's more scope for enjoyment there. There's less suffering. But one will have to come back to this material world, to this earthly planet, and this karma bhumi, where one will work and one will get some benefit. And one may go upwards, or one may stay on this plane, or one may go to hell if one is sinful. But actually, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, wants the living entities to surrender, as explained in the previous verse. Ye yatamam papadyante. And towards the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmam parijyajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. Give up all occupational duties, dharma, which is related to the body, namitiga dharma, and surrender to me. And that is nityānām, that is the eternal religious principle. That is the activity of the jiva, of the soul, is to serve Krishna. The natural activity in loving a relationship. So intelligent people, they will not understand. So therefore it is the duty of those who are more intelligent, those who are surrendered to the Lord, those who are blessed by the Lord and by the pure devotees. They should try to give this knowledge to others. They should try to make other people understand what is their duty. And they should make or try to help other people to understand that this material happiness is very flickering and it is very shallow, whereas spiritual happiness is everlasting. It is ever increasing. Tamasima jyotir gamayaha. So one should give up tamasima, tamas, the mode of ignorance, darkness, the material existence, jyotirgamaya, and one should go to the light, one should go to the spiritual realm, one should go to the spiritual world. Asatma, sadgamaya, one should give up that which is not permanent, that which is temporary, this material world, that is not real, that is not permanent. Sat Gamayahan, one should go to the eternal life, to the spiritual world. Engage in devotional service, in spiritual activities. Continuously, always. Mritama Amrita Gamayaha, one should give up and one should try to overcome death and go to the eternal life. Amrit, or Amrit also means nectar. Spiritual life is full of nectar. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So it is an ocean of nectar. Spiritual life, devotional activities. Rasa, the transcendental exchange with Krishna. It is like an ocean of nectar. And the devotees, the experienced devotees, they can swim in the ocean of nectar, in the ocean of devotional service. And then there's transcendental, sanskarification is there, transcendental bliss, transcendental enjoyment. And that is by giving pleasure to Krishna, Krishna's senses. And then one will be satisfied also. So Krishna is trying to give his knowledge to the conditioned souls. If one is already fortunate due to past, previous spiritual benefits or spiritual activities, good impressions from previous lives, then he can more easily understand and he can more easily surrender. If one is not so fortunate, then one has to rigidly follow the rules and regulations of the scriptures. One has to be engaged in regulated spiritual activities, devotional activities, and then slowly but surely he can be elevated. Elevated means the consciousness is purified, the heart is purified, and then everything is more clear. And one can more easily advance in spiritual life. And in the age of Kali, Krishna vanam tisa Krishnam sangha pangastapa sadam yagya sanketa peya yajante husumeda saha. Intelligent persons, they will worship Krishna Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaurahari, Gauranga, who is Krishna himself but with golden complexion. And then they will engage in Sankirtan, in chanting the holy names, the Maha-mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By the causeless mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's associates, even though the age of Kali is full of faults, but by chanting the holy names, by taking shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the very fallen conditioned souls, they can advance nicely in spiritual life, quickly. in spiritual life. And chanting the holy names that anyone can do. And so it is not so difficult from one point of view, simply to vibrate the tongue, chant, and then hearing the vibration. But at the same time, due to conditioned situation, due to being in this material world under modes of material nature, even this simple activity of chanting the holy names becomes difficult. But one has to try one's best to chant nicely, hear nicely, to chant in a prayerful way, and praying to the Lord, to be able to remember Him, praying for His mercy. So endeavor has to be there, a conscious endeavor, in order to be able to chant nicely. And then so one may be able to advance nicely in spiritual life by chanting the holy names. Of course, one has to be also in good association, especially those who are more advanced, and one has to sufficiently hear about the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. And then one may be able to advance, slowly but surely. From one point of view it is easy, and one can quickly advance in spiritual life simply by chanting the holy names under proper guidance. At the same time, it will take some time also to become completely pure and to come to the highest level of pure devotional service. It will take some time. So one has to be enthusiastic always, know the goal, and be patient, and always engage in devotional activities. And ultimately we have eternal life. We are eternal beings, have an eternal relationship with Krishna. So therefore, even though it may take some time, but it should not bother us much if we are still conditioned. Because if we serve Krishna, then we are properly situated, and full perfection will come in due course of time. So therefore also Mahaprabhu mentioned that Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam vajagadisha kamaya mama janmanishwari bhavatad bhaktira hetuki tvai. So that I'm prepared to take birth again and again in this world, but let me always be engaged in devotional service, and let me not aspire for dhanam, for spiritual, or for material benefits, for material wealth. But let me serve Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. And that Rupa Goswami also has mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmaṇāvritam anukulina Krishna shiranam bhaktiruttamam. So Uttam Bhakti is to try to serve Krishna as Krishna likes. Anukul, favorable. Anushilanam, as Krishna likes, following Krishna's desire. And they're not expecting anything in return, not aspiring anything of this world. So we should pray so that we may be able to engage in pure devotional service. And try not to hanker for anything of this material world. So, but anarthas are there in the heart, unwanted things are there in the heart, in the consciousness. And one has to try to give them up or remove them and try to be fixed and try to get some taste for spiritual activities. So constant endeavor has to be there. And then Krishna is reciprocating, Krishna is helping. Krishna is most merciful. And Krishna is so much desiring that we come to Him, that we surrender to Him. And so therefore, if we do a little endeavor, then Krishna will try to help us more. So we have to try to embrace devotional service, the holy names, and then ultimately Krishna. But then we have to let loose from this material, external energy. Then we can advance quickly in spiritual life. And even so, as mentioned here, men of this world usually they want some quick result. And actually even in devotional activities, in devotional service, if we serve Krishna, then we will get quick result. Spiritual result will be there, spiritual enjoyment will be there very quickly. And you can see devotees, they join, and then whatever they need is supplied to them. And there's not much worry is there. Of course, being in the material world, difficulty is always there. And some kind of anxiety is there. But if we simply try to surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will protect us, Krishna will help us. Immediately, actually. So, therefore, intelligent persons, they will immediately surrender to Krishna. For ultimate benefit. Whereas in the material world, ultimately, there's not much benefit there. There's no benefit, spiritually speaking. So therefore, an intelligent person will try to immediately, he will try to surrender to Krishna. Any question? Yes.
You know, some people, they undergo during their lives this Shani. Saturn is
Sarasati, yes.
7.5 years of being tested by it. 2.5 years.
Yes.
And then people do these astrological readings to find find out solutions,
Mm.
which usually involves using the demigods.
Yes.
So all that, I mean, it's in Sanatana Dharma, but in Krishna consciousness, we should be relying only on Krishna.
Yes.
With Shani.
Yes, yes. Yeah, definitely yes. Yes, here. Definitely, if we surrender to Krishna, then Krishna will take care. And so, also Prabhupada used to say that just by clapping your hands, the lines on your hand will change. And of course he used to also say that whatever has to happen will happen, so no need to go to the astrologer. Of course here we have an astrologer, and still you can go to him also, you can get some advice. And but at the same time, so we have to see time, place and circumstances, and Prabhupada, when he said, why he said, to whom he said. And even Prabhupada, he used to go to astrologer also. There's one place in Punjab, Hoshiarpur. It is one famous astrologers are there who have studied Brigu Muni, the astrology from Brigu Muni also, and which will tell about the future also, even of course what happened before, what you were before or whatever. And it is a kind of interesting, and therefore devotees also go to the astrologer, right? You have clients also? Yeah. Many clients usually, astrologer. Devotees like to go to the astrologers. And I mean it is interesting and actually, and many times it is also helpful if one is perplexed. And then by going to an astrologer and seeing the chart, or he can give some advice. So he may overcome the difficulty, and he may also help give direction, what is good for a particular person according to astrology. Just like in the next verse, Chaturvanyam maya shrishtam guna kama vibhakashaha, that we have a certain nature, and according to that we may be seen as a Brahmana, Kshatriya and so on in this world, although by nature we are spirit soul. And that is, and then our relationship is there with Krishna. But to come to the platform, it takes time. So, but we are in this world, and so according to that we have to act also. And even for Prabhupada, he said that the children should go to Gurukul. From the age to 5, 6, 7 years. After that should be Vana Ashram College. And then, so the expert teacher or father also, they will see what is the inclination of the child. And, I mean, which Prabhupada mentioned also, should be in every temple there should be one ashram college, which we don't have many now in society. And and therefore sometimes you see that even devotees, they don't know exactly what they should do. They're bewildered. They don't know their actual nature also. But then the experienced teacher, so he can tell, he can see. And for example, we have many devotees, of course, they get initiated, and then they want to get Brahman initiated, and they get Brahman initiation also. Then they want to go on the altar. But being Brahman initiated doesn't necessarily mean he's a Brahmana. Brahman initiated is Dvija, twice born. Even those who are some other nature than a Brahmana, like Kshatriya, Vaishya, they also, according to tradition, they used to get the Upanayan samskar. The Dvija was twice born, getting the Brahminical thread. But that doesn't make one a Brahmana. Brahmana means one who is by nature, and you don't really have to tell a Brahmana to study. He will automatically study. He will be attracted to spiritual activities, he will be attracted to worshipping the Lord and performing activities which belong to the Brahmanas, almost naturally, if the facility is there. So, but sometimes one may not know personally, or even sometimes the parents may not exactly know, and then from that point of view, of course, if the spiritual master is there, he may know, he will know usually. But if the spiritual master is not there, traveling here and there, so an astrology may also help. According to astrology, he may see what is the inclination of a person. So some help can be there. But then sometimes devotees, even they make a mistake, and they, of course, to follow the astrologer is good. But then ultimately we have to transcend this body, and we have to transcend the karma, which is there from before, and which may be continued now to some extent. And that is by surrendering to Krishna. And then all problems can be solved. That sometimes devotees also go to the astrologer and try to engage in some activities which is fine to some extent, but then they forget to depend on Krishna. So, but we have to depend on Krishna always. But so basically astrology is a help, is a great help, just like you have also Ayurveda. And so the science which is there in the scriptures in regards to medical help. If one is sick, one takes medicine, and usually mostly Ayurvedic medicine was taken because there are no side effects, and it is sattvic. Whereas nowadays the modern medicine is more rajasic, or of course I have to see time, place and circumstances. Sometimes there's no other way, or due to the conditioning of the human beings and the environment. So, but basically we should try to depend on Krishna and not on the external things. And yes, so, but astrology can help, and so it can warn us also, and that you have to be careful in the near future, and in regards to health and so on, and what kind of disease may come and what kind of remedies could be there. Maybe according to astrology also, it is sometimes explained, they will say to worship some demigods, but in the Vaishnava astrology they know that rather than worshipping the demigods, we worship the Lord of the planets, the Navagraha, the 9 planets. So like for example for planet Mars, then the Ishtadev is Nrishingadev. And we know of course for the sun, although Krishna he appeared in the Surya Vansha, but actually is the presiding deity, is the Lord of, the Ramchandra Bhagavan is the Lord of the sun planet, and Krishna is the Lord of the moon planet. So in this way, by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, ultimately then we may overcome all difficulties which are there in life according to chart. So we should try to depend on Krishna. But we may, especially as sannyasi or vanaprastha or brahmachari, we don't have to worry so much about the external existence, and we surrender to Krishna. Whereas as householders, one is living in this world, one has to deal with the things of this world, with the people of this world, and then raising children, taking care of the family, and then one may also consult astrology. Like even for marriage of the children, then astrology is consulted because we may not know exactly the nature of for example, for husband and wife. So in order to understand the nature better, one can consult astrology and see if it is matching according to astrology. But still Krishna should be in the center. And if Krishna is in the center, then everything is fine. Even according to astrology, it may not be the ideal match. But if Krishna in the center, then usually it will be all right. And if both husband and wife are mature, humble, tolerant, respectful, so we depend on Krishna, we keep Krishna in the center and we try to be completely absorbed in spiritual activities. But we can take the help of astrology as a kind of voice also, just like you may ask the spiritual master also for advice if you have difficulty. Or a senior devotee, experienced devotee, he can help. So astrology or the astrologer who knows the Jyotish Shastra, he can help. He can give you some good advice. Usually the astrologer is a Brahmana, is worshipping the Lord. And then with the help of the astrology, he can know more about somebody's life. So it is a help. So we have to stop here. Śrīmad Bhagavad Gita ki.